Everybody, welcome back tonight to the Pigsty. Tonight we have been joined by, as a team, they go by Religion Is Bulshit, but we have Rib and we have Kevin. They have just started their own wee channel. They're doing some stuff there. I know that they've been about Discord because Maya has shouted at me for not knowing who Rib is. But other than that, boys, you just want to let everybody know who you are and where they can find you.
Well, I am RIB, otherwise known as Stephen. That's my actual name. I'm on YouTube. I have my own Discord server where we host a call-in show. We do a podcast, and yeah, it's kind of it, really.
Yeah, my moniker is centrist because I thought it sounded cool at the time, but now I regret it because it's kind of stupid. So I just go by Kevin, and I'm the tag along. So that's what I am.
So would it be you, Stephen, that started it, and then you grabbed Kevin? Do you actually know each other in real life? Now, in case anybody didn't actually pick it up, we're all Irish here tonight, you know.
Yeah, we've known each other.
Yeah, no, me and Kevin. Yeah, we like met in first year. It was like, what was it, like 3 or 4 weeks in that we kind of properly started talking to each other.
Yeah, so since 2008. So
yeah, so we were both like 13 at the time. Yeah, so like 12 years. 12 years is what we know each other. Yeah.
That's fucking long time. Like.
So to kind of answer your question, I kind of had the idea to start the channel, and like I knew that I kind of wanted to do like videos and stuff like that, but I didn't really know kind of what to do them on. And so we had kind of started like we didn't really kind of name it that, I don't think, but we kind of started like a podcast in the very, very, very early days of the channel.
Oh, do you remember that?
Oh god, yeah, I do.
The tech we used back then, we were so low class back then. We just streamed off a PlayStation, and we and we just talked into that. And we just had we had to pick games that like weren't overly challenging to play in the background.
Yeah.
So
because obviously we had to kind of concentrate on what we were saying.
Yeah, we just used to throw on Final Fantasy 15. I don't know if you've ever played it. And there's a feature in it where you can auto have the car drive from one side of the map to the other. So you just do that over and over ad nauseum. So there's the beginning of everything.
Whenever you first came out, did you immediately go with the religion topic, or was it something that you fell into?
No, so I kind of started, a good few years before I ever went over to YouTube on an app called iFunny. And I had the username there, and basically it's like an app where you post like funny memes and stuff like that. And I used to be that kind of cringy atheist where I would post atheist memes, and people would kind of comment. Used to, because I don't really use it that much anymore. But anyway, and so people used to kind of comment, and I kind of comment back and forth then and stuff like that, and it just kind of grew from there. And so like when we started the channel, it was kind of mainly based on religion. That was kind of most of what we did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a fair chunk of politics came into it. And then once we kind of got started, that's actually where the name from our old podcast came from. Religix, so religion and politics.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, we lost all those years of progress due to YouTube bullshit. Literally, it just deleted the channel and wouldn't give it back to us.
Yeah, so
that's a bit shit. And saying that now, this last 2 days I've been noticing fucking problems with YouTube. Like even today, I went to the girlfriend's channel and I wasn't subscribed. I'm clearly subscribed to her channel. If anybody's fucking channel now. And, you know, you watch their content and do stuff like that. I don't know why YouTube. Maybe it's with the whole thing that's happening at the minute. So many people using it, but there has been a lot of problems with YouTube. You know, it's we work with what we have.
It seems to be a platform where there's like constant teething problems, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Like even it's going since 2006 is going, but they're still fucking figuring shit out. Like apparently,
yeah.
I suppose it's not kind of understandable, I suppose, given how big it is and all the algorithms they have to use to get everything to work. Like it's bound to fuck up now and then, but it's just a pain in the arse when it happens to you. Like
with all that effort and all that work that you put in, there's no backups, there's no nothing though.
No, we're stupid.
In real life in Ireland, how do you find the religion? I know up here in Northern Ireland it's slightly different, you know, because we're all, you know, Protestants and Catholics and want to shoot each other. Like, but You don't have to experience as much of that as being down
There's
south.
a bit of edge to it up there.
Yeah,
a bit of excitement.
As Ireland is a Christian country, it is quite secular. You know, it's a lot of the rules are being changed and things like that. Do you see the difference, or do you still bump into the crazy fundamentalists? Do you meet any of them that you would have in America? You
see them and we're both in Wexford, like, and on the main street in Wexford town every weekend there's this mad preacher fella on the main street with a microphone. That's about the extent of what I've seen. Like,
yeah,
you know, like most people, like everyone says they're Catholics, but no one is, like, you know, that kind of way.
I heard someone said to me a phrase, was it last week or last month, that all Catholics are Protestants and all Protestants are atheists.
I actually attempted to talk to that preacher guy that was on the town, but he had a mic, but he wasn't sharing it. So like I was standing like literally like face to face to him, like I don't know, like a meter, if that, in distance away from him, and I was talking to him, but he had the mic held up to his mouth constantly, so nobody around could hear what I was saying, but they could hear what he was saying back to me.
Yeah. Well, that's a bit fucking disingenuous.
So, you have to carry your own microphone, Stephen. Now we learned from this.
I mean, obviously, yeah, I should just walk around with a microphone in my back pocket.
Yeah, a megaphone, just
in case the need arises.
Going on, as I say, the channel went the religious route. Is there a reason that it didn't? Considering that Ireland, as we've experienced, is not as fundamentalist. You know, I have my reasons for screaming out against religion. Have you experienced anything personally, or is there a reason, particularly, you know, religion is bullshit? Like, it's a very, I'm gonna fucking scream this at you. Like, you know, you're not gonna like me.
Well, I actually got the name for the channel from the old George Carlin bit. I just found that bit absolutely just hilarious.
Yes.
And so I was just like, okay, that's a kind of like a very, very punchy and straight to the point kind of, you know, whatever title. So I was like, no, I'm going to go with that one. Why we start talking about religion? Like, it was always just a topic that kind of interested me. Nothing ever kind of, you know, like happened. Like, there was nothing kind of significant. I mean, like, kind of like aside from the whole kind of, you know, like Catholic Church thing, like that, like never happened. Like there was nothing even kind of like a half step down from that. I wasn't really in any way kind of like negatively affected by it. It was just always something that interested me.
Yeah.
I've in the past I've described my like when I was younger, like everybody, I kind of believed, because we're kind of told all the time to believe. You know, in school, you're told to say your prayers, then you go to church, and then your parents kind of half-heartedly believe. Well, mine did, at least.
Yes.
And then after, like, as I kind of grew into my teens, the analogy I'd use was I saw religion as a television show that I used to really be interested in, but as the week went by, I used to miss an episode, and then I used to miss more episodes than I catch, and then eventually I just stopped watching the show.
It's a very good analogy, yeah. So it's not like, you know, lost.
Yeah.
You just sort of lost interest in it, because it isn't. Over here, it's not screamed and pushed as what we would find in America. A lot of my audience, a lot of people I would interact with would be Americans. Would you find that as well?
Oh, yeah.
That's why you had to...
I think we've only actually ever had one Irish guy on the show.
Called Irish?
Yeah. Like, that's what his
moniker was.
Name on the screen was, but yeah.
Yeah, the annoying thing, I said, it's great to talk to the Americans, because they have such an interesting point of view. No matter what the point of view is, it's always going to be interesting. But the pain in the arse thing about it is that we always have to start so late, so that by the time, like, say we do call-in shows, so by the time it comes to the end of it, it's like fucking 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And sometimes they want to get into these big theological arguments, and like I've run out of mental horsepower at this stage. I was like,
I've pretty much officially switched to Eastern Standard Time. It makes life easier, man. I don't get up till about 11, and then I go to bed about 5 in the morning. It just makes everything a whole lot easier.
Geez, Stephen, 2 years on the same sleep schedule.
I was just going to say, yeah, well, I have kind of adopted that time zone now since quarantine hit us, but like...
Yeah, since the quarantine's hit, it's made it very easy to shift to Eastern Standard Time.
It definitely has, man. It definitely has, because there's just nothing to do in the days. So it's just, yeah.
Yeah, and that's...
You just might as well, like.
No offense to any Americans, and considering my woman's in America, but living in the South, she'll know this. The Americans are fucking crazy. It's very entertaining to talk to them.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, just as a nice little anecdote, it wasn't necessarily religious, but Stephen, you know who the interesting person I'm going to talk about is. We had a caller call in, and he fervently believed that giants were a real thing.
Oh yeah.
And he was going along with. I'm not sure if he looked at it as a religious thing or just kind of like an Eddie Bravo flat Earth type thing, but it was just mad talking to him, and like you can't debate that type of thing. You just have to prod it and poke along and see where it goes.
Yeah. Like, how are you going to convince a guy that there's not giants? Like, I've come across people like that. There's flat Earth Aussie Jesus. Yes, he's an Australian that thinks it's a flat Earth. He thinks that there's, I can't remember the exact name of them, but the mountains in America that look like the petrified trees, they were cut down by giants, and he is convinced that the Grand Canyon was hollowed out and made into the moon.
God, there's more of them.
Yeah. It's fucking insane.
Oh, Jesus.
And like, how do you have a conversation with someone like that? The reason I have this channel is to try and improve conversation and try and better that. But when you come across someone like that, how do you approach it?
I'll go quickly, Stephen. Then you can go.
Yeah.
So normally the way we approach the call-ins is we take different approaches. So Stephen is the one that will always pose the question, what do you believe and how can you justify it? And then we kind of go from there. And he'll fight the point and debate as such. And it's kind of like good cop, bad cop. So I'll be the one that kind of asks them questions and tries to get an idea of what they think. So it's two different approaches. But for those kind of mad ones, I personally just like to talk and see where it goes, because the more leading questions you ask, the better content you're going to get. Like, do you know what, those kind of mad fuckers, like.
Yeah, the mad fuckers.
Yeah.
And Stephen?
Yeah, it's as like Kevin had said, like, that's the kind of general approach that we had for the call-in show. But for the mad ones, I mean, I genuinely don't know. I kind of take like each one of them as they come. I do kind of think that I kind of tend to take a little bit of a back foot. Like, maybe it's just kind of how it's just worked out so far, but like Kevin, I know, was mad, and I mean mad into the, like, he was fascinated by the like guy who was talking about giants and stuff like that. He was really into that conversation. So yeah, like I don't have that much of an interest in it, so I definitely have. I don't know if this is necessarily going to be the thing kind of going forward, but as it's worked out so far, it's just me just being kind of basically just going okay, and then Kevin just kind of take over the conversation. So
well, now when I watched you in the debates, now I've watched you in a few that would be on is it iDebates YouTube channel, isn't it? I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've watched a few of them on there.
Yeah.
Now I thought you were very, very good. Now when you came, you were very well prepared. You knew your information, you knew this, that, and the other. And the very first one, the guy's argument was literally just a point of view. He had no real statistics behind him. He had no evidence behind him. It was just if we don't vote for Biden, we're going to end up with Trump. Now, okay, as a statement goes, that's a statement. It's not really a fucking debatable point.
Yeah, well, yeah, like it was, and like I had kind of seen it kind of, like floating around on Twitter and on YouTube as well, this whole point of like, oh, if you don't vote for Biden, then you're basically voting for Trump. So I kind of wanted to kind of get that out of the way with in my opening. Yeah. And I don't actually think that it kind of came up too much more during the actual debate, but like I do remember getting kind of frustrated because, like, I understand that if you're in a debate and if you're in that kind of environment and that kind of situation and everything else like that, that it is kind of difficult almost to kind of, step down and kind of say, all right, okay, I was wrong on that point, because it doesn't really make it look good, especially in a debate. But he just wasn't bending even an inch to anything that I was saying, and so I just kind of got very, very frustrated.
It was so hard to moderate that in particular, because that guy, I can't remember his name, or Left Biden, that's what it was. He's the fan of the run-on sentence. It's like, fuck me, are you gonna make a point at some stage? Like,
yeah, there was no point. It was just statements. It was just his opinion that he kept giving. He had nothing really to back him up. Like,
and like from my perspective, as the moderator, like, it's known in that community that me and Stephen are actual friends. Like, so if I'm always mindful. I try to be a little bit harsher on Stephen than the other person, so I don't get called out as being biased. Like,
exactly,
but,
yeah, it's a hard situation to be in.
Hard,
So you
fucking
do
hard
find
situation,
yourself
yeah.
being more nasty to your friend.
Yeah, you have to, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a tactic that I have kind of taken advantage of. Like, we used to do like a follow-up video after I would do a debate where like we kind of like talk about it, and Kevin would kind of do a yeah, and he would almost I'm fairly confident in saying he would almost always have at least one or two more points for me than for whoever I was debating against, and I have kind of taken that on board and kind of used it to my advantage of going like, okay, so like this is somebody that I've known for 12 years. I trust him completely. So I mean, obviously anything that he's going to say that's in criticism to how I did or to how I broached a point or something like that, that it's only constructive. And so yeah, like any kind of like negatives that he has brought to me, I think at least addressed.
Yeah, well, that's two things that I would find relevant to that is as the Irish, we would like to speak our mind, and as a friend, you would prefer them to be honest. Because that's what your friend's there for, to tell you that you've got something stuck in your teeth, to tell you that you fucked up, to try and help you be a better person, moderator, or whatever you're aiming for. Like.
Yeah,
absolutely.
No, over here, I definitely, in this community, I'm known for speaking my mind. I don't, it's just not worth the stress as well. I find it's better in a debate too, it's better in real life. You speak your mind, you get your point across, and that's it. You did that with the opening statement that you had with democratic socialism when you debated that as well, Stephen. That guy, he was another one that just did not listen. Your opening statement was the difference between socialism and democratic socialism, and he was just, but Venezuela.
Yeah, I do kind of. It's not a debate that I regret or that I kind of look back on and kind of like wish I hadn't done it or anything like that. But it's sort of weird. Like me and Xerxes, who I debated against, like I would kind of at least semi-confidently kind of call him a friend now at this stage. He runs the iDebate server that I'm like constantly present in, and so like he's actually a very nice guy, and I love his debates that he does on religion. I think he does them very, very, very well. I'll happily say that he knows more than I do. But so like it's a like. I do agree with like what you said. I'm not kind of saying that you were wrong there or anything, because he definitely did keep saying but Venezuela, but
I think on that one in particular, an awful lot could have been gained by just taking 5 minutes at the start to define what is reaching agreement as to what is democratic socialism and what is socialism. Then because you were talking past each other the whole time.
Yeah, they both laid out their
and even just kind of. And just kind of get that point kind of over with, and kind of just like push it to the side and say, all right, okay, look, this is dealt with now. We know what it is. We know where we're going. That kind of crack, like.
Yeah, exactly.
As it goes in general, you do like to argue, though, Stephen. As Kevin, I've only seen.
I do.
You're the one moderation, and Kevin or Stephen's been here a few times, so we've had a few conversations. Like, but you do like to have a bit of banter and push the boat out there a wee bit, Stephen. Yes.
Yeah, I do. Well, I mean, I have been saying for a very, very long time now that I am basically a very grumpy old man living inside of a young person's body, because my favorite thing to do is to argue and to complain. I love speaking my mind. It's one of my favorite things to do. I love doing it. I love doing it.
Do you find pleasure when you see an asshole and just walk up to him and just tap him on the shoulder? Here, mate, yeah? Just letting you know, you're a fucking asshole, and walk away.
Yeah. Yeah, like in one of the voice chats that we had on the iDebate server, I think it was like 2 or 3 days ago, there was a guy in there who was basically saying that you can't unlearn racist like thoughts or opinions or anything. And I was like, no, but like you absolutely can't, like you 100% can do that. And he started to say to me, oh, that I don't know what I am talking about. And I just said, listen, mate, I have 2 degrees in psychology, and I have done sociology for now 3 years. If you are going to raise the whole point of I don't know what I'm talking about, find someone else to talk to, because I absolutely do. And he shut up fucking immediately. Because he knew I was right. He knew I was right, and he knew that there was no point in fucking arguing with me because I knew more than he did. And that's not. I don't want that to kind of come across as like some egotistical thing. I am more than happy to say that I don't know an awful lot about an awful lot of subjects, and if I didn't, then I'd fucking hold my hands up and say I don't know what I'm talking about there. But
from his point of view, I can definitely. I can say that you can learn not to be racist, depending on how long it's been in your family and ingrained in you. The same within our situations, we still crig our toe and say, "Oh God," or things like that, because it's ingrained in you. So you can slip every now and again, but you can definitely unlearn being racist. That's just a fucking stupid statement.
Yeah.
Other than the crazy giants and stuff, when you do the call-in show, do you find is it mainly you would obviously aim for the religious people? You don't want to have a conversation with atheists. You just want the religious people to phone in. Have you had anybody that's just been a complete fucking asshole?
Darth Dawkins, yeah.
Oh, Darth Dawkins. Oh, jeez, Darth Dawkins. How could I forget?
We're calling him Asshole 104. We will refer to him as Asshole 104.
Okay, Asshole.
Is it that or is it Gary?
No, Asshole 104.
Asshole 104. All right, okay. Just so we know where we're going.
Yeah.
I'm still half convinced Darth has like a superpower that every time somebody says his name on a stream, he just appears there.
He does.
I bet you, we're doing
because that actually happened to us. Was that a podcast, Kevin?
It was. Yeah, it was a podcast. He was.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was.
Where it was right at the end, fucking 3:30, and Darth fucking Dawkins decides to call in with his. We hadn't heard his spiel at this stage, like.
No, so we had no idea who he was.
Yeah,
we were kind of blindsided by it, like as you would be, like fucking drunk with lack of sleep, like, and trying to deal with him talking his absolute bollocks at that time is unbelievable. Yeah. And every interaction I've had with that man since then has been no more positive.
No. 1 or 2 interactions is more than enough for that man.
Yeah. I definitely. It's
That's strangely enough now. As I say, I came across you in Discord. The reason I actually came across you is because you reached out because Centrist wanted to have a go at him, and because I'd had him on the channel, you assumed that I could get him again. But no, I moderated him. He did not like that.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't Centrist. It was Xerxes, who I did the socialism debate with. That was who I wanted to talk to him. Yeah, because we had already tried to do it on the iDebate server, but he said that he wouldn't do it because we wouldn't give him mod powers.
Why does he need mod powers? Why would anybody?
That's the only reason that he, quote unquote, wins debates, because he has mod powers and he can server mute you. Just talk down to you.
Well, that's exactly it. He didn't get away with that here. I thought it was enjoyable, but.
Oh, son, I wanted to fucking reach into my laptop screen and shake it by the hand over the internet. Oh, it was absolutely fantastic. We manhandled him. It was brilliant.
It just came about one night. Me and Dave were Saturday night sitting having nothing to do. I was like, right, well. He's on Discord, I'll send him a message. It ended up and it went well. It was very fucking funny. Fuck you. I just shut him down.
Yeah.
Other than the infamous Pratt, have you said anyone else or any other crazy fundamentalists?
We've had that fella that thinks slavery should be a thing because the Bible believes.
Yeah, there's a lot of that about praise I am, and things like that. And Jill and a few other people in the community here would believe that as well. To the point where somebody in the community who has a degree in Assyriology and can read Greek and all that sort of stuff, they'd argued with them that many times on the topic that they had created enough notes to write a book, and actually did write a book on it and then released it.
Wow, Jesus Christ.
Dave will put the chat in for
way to make the best of a bad situation, like.
Yeah.
Who's that
The
fellow we had
YouTube
on?
channel's called Digital
Comic-Con.
Hammurabi. They teach how to speak ancient Hebrew and things and read it and stuff and all as well. It's a good educational channel. And they got involved in that whole thing to the point where he had that many notes he wrote a fucking book.
Jeez. Stephen, who's that Comitan fellow we had on that time? Remember him?
Oh, yeah. Oh, God, what did he do? Wait, I'm on my laptop now. He has, like, his own...
After something or other, isn't it?
Religion, I think. Yeah. Astronism.
Astronism.
He's the founder of that. He was actually pretty chill to talk to. That video was about maybe 90 minutes long, and I think for the first hour it was basically just kind of us just kind of generally talking, kind of like right now. But for the last kind of half hour of it, I just kind of got fed up with some of the stuff that he was saying kind of baselessly, and I was just like, right, no, fuck it, I'm going to fucking engage it now.
It can be very frustrating, yeah. Like you
Yeah.
say, you
Oh, but
started off-
actually,
No, go on ahead.
sorry, no.
Go on ahead. Somebody was talking. One of you was talking.
Yes, I was just going to say, Kevin, that fellow who thought that it's slavery, that like it should still be a thing. He is a Muslim now.
There's far more interesting news about him, though, isn't there? Can we talk about that?
Very interesting.
I mean, like,
You've
I guess, yeah. So yeah, basically, he was banned from the iDebate server because he had DM'd a mod, and he was having like a long conversation with them, and basically said that he wanted to commit a mass shooting and wanted this mod to film his suicide. So
So that's a proper crazy man that needs to be reported.
yeah, definitely, yeah.
A good devout Muslim, that's what he is.
But we are very lucky here.
I
in
mean-
Ireland that we have some sort of gun laws over here. Yeah, I personally own a shotgun and an air rifle. I don't know if you own any guns either.
Yeah, we have a shotgun at the house.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't own any sort of gun.
but it's not that it's you wouldn't be dead against it. It's just.
I'd be fairly for guns, to be perfectly honest. Not to the extent that we're there in the States, but I don't know. I think there's a happy medium that can be struck. I do value the idea that the ability to defend yourself and that type of thing. It is valuable, But
You don't need an AR-15 to defend yourself in the home.
No, you don't. No, you don't. I'd argue that a good double barrel is probably the best home defense weapon you probably need, really. Like, you know that.
Yeah, I think this is actually one of the very, very small issues where Kevin, me, and you actually agree, like 100%.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I think that Ireland's kind of weapons laws even really are like way too strict. Like we don't even have fucking pepper spray here.
Can't have pepper spray. You can't have pepper spray.
Yeah.
You can't have self-defense tasers.
You can't buy it over here, but I know a lot of people that just order it and get it delivered to the house.
Anyway, it kind of defeats the purpose of legally defending yourself, doesn't it?
No, well, taking into consideration to legally defend yourself, yes. But I don't think that if anyone... I know a friend of mine that let off CS gas in the middle of a crowd one night outside of a fucking pub with about 40 people. Like, he got shouted at by the police, right? The police shouted at him for it. They didn't, do anything really bad to him, but he did it for a bit of crack, which was not very fucking funny. But oh man, but 30, 40 people all just running outside the pub. Oh jeez, but
there's not nearly enough crying people around here.
But in that situation, if he was getting beat up or getting, he did it for a bit of crack, not in a protective sense, and he just got shouted at for it.
Who uses self-defense tear gas? It's like a fucking suicide bomber as a self-defense. Like, you're going down and I'm going down too.
But you get the point I'm trying to make, that even when he was just doing it for fun, he just got shouted at for it. It's not like he got prosecuted or sent to prison for the night or anything like that for it. So it's
but I think
it is illegal, but it's turned a blind eye to pepper spray and things like that.
Like the silliest one, I think, and this was the case a couple of years ago when I was looking into it. Do you know those collapsible police baton type things? You know, those you just
the flick baton.
they're fucking illegal. Like, what? Why? Why? Like, if I wanted to cause a lot of damage to somebody, I'd just get a hammer. Like, they're illegal. Do you know?
Yeah.
It is just silly. Like, it's just they take the stuff that's convenient to have on you all the time and make it illegal. Fucking stupid. Like.
Well, if somebody wants to cause damage, they'll cause damage.
Exactly, yeah. I said you can go to fucking Woodies and get anything. You can get numerous things far more deadly than the things that are illegal.
You look at the airports. Airports are a perfect example of that, because as time has went on, something happens, then they have to implement this. Then something else happens, they implement this. And now it's got to the airport that going through security sometimes takes longer than the flight.
Ridiculous.
Which is just stupid. You know, your shoes have to come off, your boots have to come off, all of these things. And if 1 million people go through an airport in a day, one person had something in their shoe. You know, it's not really very relevant.
And I heard something that those the security things at airports aren't even that effective. Like, if you wanted, you could easily get a knife on board or get a small gun or whatever if you're in that kind of place. Like, you know, like I can't remember how they gathered the information, but something like 70% of higher than that of like weapons get in America, for instance, get through the TSA. So it's like, what's the point of them?
Like living here and living so close to Amsterdam, I don't know about yourselves, but I'm sure we've had a few flights back and forth and we've never had any problems. Like, you know, if you want to get something moved in an airport in a plane, you can't. It's just the added security is just silly.
Yeah, it's peace of mind security, but it's not actual security, isn't it?
That's exactly the difference, man. That's exactly the difference. It's given the public the peace of mind to feel safe, even though
the appearance.
Yeah, there's no real safety there. It's just the appearance of it.
Yeah, if you want to see what actual airport security looks like, go to Israel. Those fuckers, they do mad shit. Like, they'll stop you miles from the airport and interview you there. Like, if you say you're coming in visiting as like a Jewish person from like America, for example, they'll ask you really complicated leading questions like, where did you do your bar mitzvah, that type of thing, like, just to weed people out. Mad shit they go over there, but it works because they stop most things. That's the kind of extent you have to go to, I suppose, to actually have actual security.
Yeah,
so that sounds a bit shit as well, though.
Well, that's extreme. You couldn't take that to the point where you had to apply that to everybody. But then, because I don't know. It is a very complicated matter, because do you put the level of trust in so many people, but then there is always that one that fucks everything up for everybody.
Exactly. That's how all laws get made, really, isn't it?
I think it's the safety caps on medicine bottles as well, is because some person put poison in a medicine bottle one time. So all medicine bottles now have that safety cap on them.
I mean, but like, by the age of what safety caps, the childproof ones, like.
I think so. It was something to do. He put poison in the bottles in a pharmacy, and then they had to implement something after that that's now mandatory across the board. Like, it mightn't just be the child safety caps. I'm probably wrong. Yeah. I'm not researched right now. I don't have it in front of me.
on a sort of tangent, those childproof things always struck me as stupid, because by the age of like 7, unless you're shortchanged in the mental department, you can get one of those open fairly handily.
As the channel goes that you have started now, you have what? Only one video on it, Stephen?
We actually have 3 up right now, but we're going to start doing like podcasts and call-in shows and stuff like that now pretty soon. Do
you think that you could do you have permission to upload the debates that you had on iDebates and move them across there and stuff?
Yes, actually. So we have one more that will be coming out next week. And I had asked Xerxes if I could use them, and he basically said, yeah, well, because I'm in them. Like, yeah, that basically I could. So yeah.
Have you? What's the next debate you have lined up?
So we have the socialism and we have the left Biden. Oh, that is actually against the guy who thought that slavery should still be a thing and is now a Muslim, and that is on transgender rights. He didn't think that trans people have rights.
Obviously, they should.
So,
if you thought that left Biden didn't have a point to make, wait till you hear this guy.
Oh god! Oh yeah! Oh.
Is it that bad?
He doesn't even tangentially approach a point.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't be in the eye debates that much. I pop in every now and again, see what's going on. Like, but how do you find it in there? Do you find it that most people would be using that server as like a test zone? Do you find most people would be skeptical? Do you find most people are, religious debates? Do you find the fundamentalist in there? Do you find most of them would be middle or?
It's actually kind of turned into mainly politics now. We were actually only talking, I think it was only yesterday, that there is not a single Christian mod. That most of us are atheists. We have one pagan and one Satanist, and that's it. We don't have a single Christian mod. So it's not. Yes, there are. No, actually, she's not. She's not anymore. She's not anymore. No. Oh, Xerxes managed to change her mind on that.
Junk Shop has just pointed out the story that I was talking about was the Tylenol killer, and it's the internal tamper proof that it was added to all medicine bottles. So it's visually,
I know that.
You can see if it's been tampered with now.
Yeah, that disgruntled employee literally just went and put poison in the Tylenol, and it just killed some people.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Thank you, Junk Shop.
Shit, that's intense, man.
Whenever you do your call-in show, it's mainly on Discord, or is it on a different channel, or your own channel, or where is it now?
Discord now.
If somebody wanted to phone in.
Yeah, so we host it on Discord. So Discord's probably the best place that you can kind of find me, because I if there's anything kind of coming up, like if there's a podcast or if there's a call-in show coming up, I'll kind of address everyone that's in the server, and I'll just say, look, this is coming up. If you want to call in, just message me or say it here or whatever. So, but we do stream it onto YouTube. So, it's kind of both, but Discord is where we kind of host the actual debates, and that's where everyone kind of gathers to have them.
If you get a chance, man, you can pop a link to your Discord if you want into the chat. I'll mod you so you can type something in the chat and I'll mod you. If you want, you can pop your link into the Discord, because call-in show seems to be popping up now. Chris Shelton's doing one. You've obviously got the Atheist Experience and the Talk Heathen and stuff like that. Considering that we have the community here on YouTube, it is very simple for us just to click a button and jump onto a StreamYard's Hangout. But we know this, and we know that technology's there. The call-in shows makes it a lot easier and widens it out to Facebook and other people. And, Discord's easier. It's not as complicated as jumping on and then people worry about a camera. And it makes it more open to the public. Do you find that?
It's so simple, especially if you want to have a kind of quick fire type of thing where you line up a bunch of people and you can just add them to the queue and come in, say your piece, get a response, boom, out goes the next person. That kind of way, it's so seamless, and especially what you said as well, you don't need to have your face linked to it. You don't have your real name linked to it. This nice anonymity, so people are more likely to be honest as well, which is great.
Yeah, this can be very intimidating coming on and doing streams and stuff like that, because people think, it's there forever. In Discord, it can be there forever as well. Somebody can record it, but you don't think that.
No, don't even, anybody who's jumping on knows that they're being recorded. They know that they're going to be part of the show, so.
Yeah. Because if I'm asking people, would they like to kind of, call in, or would they like to be on the show, I will always say I think the opening message that it's going to be on YouTube, so everybody knows from the get-go this is going to be online. So they know that anything that they say on the show is going to be going out, and so they have the choice then and there to be able to say yes, I will call in, or no, I'm not wanting to do that. I'm not wanting to have my voice or whatever out on YouTube.
How as it comes down to with the situation in Ireland, you're allowed up to 5 kilometers of travel, is it?
At the minute, yeah.
5, yeah.
5. How are you finding that being at home? Even though you are close, do you just go out for you can't even go out for a pint. The pubs are closed,
yeah.
No, it's just shitting off
How are you? Is it getting to you? Well, I know that Ribs changed to Eastern Standard, so he's probably having a lot of fun arguing with Christians online. But what about yourself, Kevin?
for the first 7 weeks lockdown was I try my best to keep to a normal sleep schedule type of thing. I live out in the middle of nowhere, out in the sticks, like, so it's great. Not because you can go for a walk, but there's only so many times you can see the same cows and the same trees, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've missing a bit of the concrete, like. But past week or so, work have sent me out a laptop and they put me back on the books, so I've been kept busy doing that. So that's been grand. Well, it's been good and bad, because I'd be lying if I said I didn't kind of like all the free time. It was kind of nice, especially when I was getting $350 a week through and on. But I suppose at the end of the day, it's good to be back being productive, like, and all that. But yeah.
Yeah, I find the same.
I tried typing the link to my Discord in there, and it said that to take away any
type something.
Just
type something in the chat, like anything at all. Then I make you a mod, and then you can do it.
Right, okay.
You have to be a mod first, but I need to see you in the chat before I can change it.
Matt, how you finding yourself?
Honestly, I'm loving it, man. I know that's awful to say, but I've been furloughed. I'm getting 80% of my wages. I'm getting to spend more time with my friends. I've been educating myself on production on YouTube channels and things like that. And and during the whole thing, I've had the wonderful, lucky time to meet Manda, and me and her have got together. So yeah, I'm brilliant, man. Sorry for everybody, but
it's a nice silver lining to the whole thing, at least.
Well, that's it. I also think that it will be a silver lining in the long run, because it's going to hopefully change how we approach life, how we approach work and things like that. You know, you've got an awful lot of parents at work. You have to have two of them at work, and then you've got childcare, which basically takes the other wage away. You know, and it's a very. I think this will be good in the long run, allowing more people that can work at home to work at home.
Yeah, they'll be hard pressed to get me back in the office. I'm actually loving work from home. It's class, like, so much better. Even I'm doing the same stuff, and it's a reasonably stressful job I do. Like, but just the fact that I'm actually at home just takes the stress level down. It's so much more manageable. Like, do you know, that kind of way. If I need to step away, I can step away and out to the garden, like, do you know, rather than out to the car park. It's just infinitely better. Like. And who needs people? Also, who needs that? I don't.
Yeah, there's, especially being on the internet here, a lot of us in the community would be introverts, and people are dickheads.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
You get so sick of office politics as well, like just talking corporate shite all day as well. Ugh.
I know. I work with people who we would consider to be Bible bashers, DUP supporters, anti-LGBTQ. COVID's a Chinese hoax. They're doing it to get rid of the old people. Oh my God, I don't want to work with them people. Like, you know, there's maybe one person in the place that I get on really well with, and everybody else can just go fuck off. Like,
there's one woman, and she used to find everything hilarious, and her laugh would drive nails through an oak plank. I was like, oh my God, shut up. So not having to deal with that was great. Fantastic.
As a whole, with the channel, do you think, and what you are doing in Discord, do you think that you are making a difference? Are you doing this for fun? Are you trying to bring anything forward, more awareness of less religion? Do you have a goal that you are out and after?
I mean, yeah, like it's a little bit of both. Like, yeah, I am kind of doing it. Like, I wouldn't do it if I didn't find it enjoyable to do, because I mean, like, it would just be painful, and it'd be a bother, and I would make kind of like every excuse possible not to. So yeah, but like as far as the kind of like mission and stuff like that, like I would like everybody to like at least think about the things that they consider like deeply held beliefs. Like, so I was Catholic up until when I was 16, and like, so like I thought, you know, that like I was right, and that, you know, like Jesus was God and everything else like that. It's that process of being able to kind of question beliefs that you've had for a very long time. Whether you kind of come out of it, you know, still believing, you have now kind of like almost like a sense of like a bigger foundation to rest your beliefs on, and if you leave that process not believing anymore, then you've still been through that process, and you will kind of consider yourself to be correct now, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, encourage more logical thinking, more critical thinking.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, people can still believe what they want to believe. You know, if you encourage more critical thinking and more logical thinking, they have two choices. They can either dump the religion or they can compartmentalize. But at least, you know, if they know they have that core, then they can move forward and fucking not believe in the rest of the stupid stuff that's out there. Like.
Yeah.
I love doing it just because it's such a good opportunity to kind of meet so many different weird and wonderful people and different outlooks on life. Like people I'd never normally get to talk to under any other circumstances. It's fantastic to get to talk to them, even if they're talking ridiculous stuff and stuff I don't believe in at all. It's a fantastic experience. So that's kind of the angle I look at it from. It's not nearly as altruistic as Stephen, but that's how I look at it.
Yeah, well, I do like the conversation from a personal point of view. I do like the conversation. We have a goal here. We're trying to do something and move forward, you know, and help the community as a whole here. But personally, from my point of view, exactly, I wouldn't do this unless you were having fun. You know, I started in the live chats and then moved up to Discord and then moved on to this here because it's, you know, I was going to say this is where it's at. I wouldn't say this is where it's at, but, you know, or the pinnacle of what we can do. But it definitely is a lot better, more fluent, than we can have a conversation rather than fucking text. Text is always going to be limited.
Yeah, exactly. Like whether it's like character limited or whether you like feel like you can't get your point of view out like effectively or properly through text. Like there's always going to be some limit to it.
Yeah, even when you're not just on here, you were talking to the wife or something like that, and you said something that just like, no, didn't mean it that way. It's text is silly.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, excuse me, we've nearly come up on the hour. I've got Amanda's going to jump in for the after party. We'll move across to that, and as it goes along, maybe have another few people that's going to jump in as it goes. But if that's all right with your boy, you're up for that.
Yeah, sure, definitely, man.
Dave has been popping the links to yourself that he's found, and he popped a few for A debates in there as well. So if anyone wants to hear centrist and RIB debating and moderating, that's where their content is at the minute. Rib, I'll get your channel link in the description, and
cool.
Other than that, boys, your Discord link is there. Anybody wants that? We'll move over to the after party. No, actually, because we won't, because I haven't scheduled it yet. And this week I will have nothing on. I'm going down to the stay with the daughter, so I will not be back until maybe Friday, and I think Sunday I'm going to take a night off. But we will, hopefully, what we're aiming for is we're going to try and get June, all of women. If anybody knows any women in the community that's influential, knows that they're willing to come on to the channel and have a chat, we want to try and do Women's Month on Monday and bring more awareness to the women in the community, because look at this screen. It's a bunch of white guys sitting talking about things. There's definitely not enough vocal women in the community, and we definitely want more of it. We want to give them a bit more confidence and a bit more of a voice. So if anybody knows or wants to get involved with that, definitely hit me up. And other than that, let me see. I will hit the button for the after party, and we shall see yous over there. So what I will do is we will oink and out. Thank yous all for coming. Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.